Om Shanti. In today's Murli, Baba is using this expression from beggar to prince. And the first thing is, so the question in the Murli is, with which special effort can you change from a beggar to a prince? With which special effort can you change from a beggar to a prince? Now, the first thing is, do you want to be a prince? Because, sometimes even when we are in Gyan, we don't understand the true aim. And we keep working with the aim we had in Bhakti. So, things get sorted out here, things are taken care of here, and this world gets comfortable for me, and situations and people become favorable for me. But then if you still are working with those ideas, you're in the wrong place. So, when you want to be an engineer, you go to an engineering college. So there is an aim and objective of every place. And when we come to Baba, we are given the aim that this study is called Raj Yoga, and this study has the aim to change you from a human to a deity in Satyug. So for that, we are here. We are not here for... And again, because the same name God is used, we mess up, bhakti and gyan and so many things. And I will give you an example of, how bhakti and gyan get mixed up so much. And then, there is this sister and her husband is going through some physical karmic settlement, and then she asked me whether she should take care of him. And they don't have a very good relationship, so she just asked me whether she should take care of him. And I said, yes, obviously, what is there to ask in that? And then she said, but you see, sister, it's not important, so he's not, we don't share a relationship which can be called, a perfect husband-wife relationship, so there is no obligation. So I said, so I didn't tell you to take care of him because he's his husband. So that's the thing. So sometimes, you think that because you take care, so that same equation is going on. So no, you take care now because you are a soul and you are a caring soul. And you don't take care because he's your husband. And then if you are able to get the attitude right, then you will be able to get the action right. And the action is not about what you do, but how you do it, how much you do it, where you draw the line. Everything is important. So in soul consciousness and in body consciousness, you might end up doing the same thing, but then how you do it will be very, very different. And Baba says, similarly, so good karma, or, not wasting time, thought, all these things are there, or, detachment and other stuff that Baba teaches us is all there. But then we must not forget the aim. We are doing this to change my sanskar. So sometimes, when Baba asks you to tolerate or cooperate, so yesterday Baba talked about tolerating Yes, so Baba says, don't get reactive, tolerate some things that come your way. And then, we must understand that tolerating is for myself, not for the other or for the relationship. So my aim is not to make the relationship better. And if you pay attention to the Murli, Baba many a time says that don't worry about the other. That's not your concern. Yesterday's Murli also and today's Murli also, Baba has used this expression, the other is not your concern. And that's very important to understand because, in bhakti also, when people say, you should keep quiet or you should tolerate. So, when you're growing up as a woman, especially, then your parents teach you that you shouldn't be reactive or you should tolerate a little. But that's different from what Baba is teaching you. So that is done to keep the family intact or the relationship intact. But then this you don't do for the relationship or the family because anyways, can you ensure the relationship or the family being intact when you do everything right? No, that's going to go according to the drama. And you do everything for yourself because good karma creates a good destiny for you, and if you deserve something better, you get that better. You don't need to retain that same context in which you are applying Gyan. So you must understand that in Gyan, it is not about you and the other or you and the situation. So we are not doing anything to make the present context better. If it gets better, good enough, because it's according to drama. If there are challenges, good enough, according to drama. But then according to drama, we know that now Baba is creating Satyug. And when we follow Srimad at every step, then we get a place in Satyug, the land of happiness. And that's what this is all about. This is not about this context of the Kali Yugi world and we are trying to get things better. So health or happiness or relationships or all these things externally, you cannot correct them by following Srimad. So Srimad is to create your destiny, which is about being a prince in the golden age. And you must understand that there is no other option. So it is not like if you leave Gyan and go to a temple, somebody can give you a formula to make things better in Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is what it is. And when we say drama, what is drama is a very interesting thing to think about. And drama is a product of karma that we have done until now. And now that we have created the whole thing, so we have been doing karma unconsciously, without knowledge, without awareness, for 63 births. And whatever we have created through our actions is pretty out of hand now. So you cannot just do 1 year of tapasya and change that. So that's not going to shift right now. So it's not like, I've been meditating for 1 year and this relationship should get solved. No, you have contributed to making it bitter for 63 births. So you cannot say 1 year can make it better. So it's not like that. So when we say drama, again, it's created through karma. But then Now Baba is teaching you karma, which if you stick to for this Sangam Yug, then it can shift this Kalyug to Satyug. But then just like a gestation period for everything. So, you want to build a road, it cannot be done in 2 days. So there is a gestation period. You need to do something over a period of time to create something. And Baba says, you want to change this world from a sorrowful state to a happy state. You want to change it from Kalyug to Satyug, 100 years minimum. So you cannot say that Kalyug should shift to Satyug right now. So that's not happening. So understanding everything in the right context, and then then we must understand that Satyug is also definite, and then this whole period where we have to follow Srimad and do the work we need to do until we get there is also fixed, and we cannot hasten, we cannot be impatient. That's not how it works. So, and then if you have a sanskar of impatience, then you have to deal with that sanskar. So that's also there. And Baba today says, how do you change from a beggar to a prince? Now, so there is this expression beggar to prince, and we have heard it in the Lokik world also. So Baba says, you want to be a prince, you have to become a complete beggar. And it is interesting, you have to become a beggar who doesn't beg. So this beggar is not about begging. It's about, so let's read what Baba says. Baba says, in order to change from a beggar to a prince, keep the line of your intellect clear. So no interference in your buddhi. You don't remember. So intellect remembers. So we call buddhi yoga. So the intellect catches signals of people and places and things. And have you seen, you are sleeping at night, you go to sleep. Even after you've remembered Baba, your intellect goes to your childhood, and then it is exploring, the past and other stuff. And then, so that's what the intellect does. And that means that the intellect is not clear. It keeps catching signals, yes, from people, places, and things. And then Baba says that you have to have a line of intellect that is very clear. So the intellect doesn't go to anyone or anything. So that's the meaning of a beggar. Remember no one except the one Father. Even this body is not mine. So the intellect shouldn't even go to the body. Even if the body is going through some karmic settlement and there is pain that's drawing your intellect, you should have so much detachment that the intellect is not able to draw the body. And this word mine is very interesting, because only that which is yours draws your attention. So you see that when somebody says, it's acute pain, so how can my intellect not be drawn? But just think about acute pain which someone else is experiencing. Does your intellect get drawn to that? No, only to the ones you call mine. And then it's not just your body, but even if you have attachment with your children, then pain, emotional or physical or whatever pain they're going through, will draw your intellect. So it's not the thing, but it's this consciousness of mind that draws your intellect. So when you just practice enough this thing called soul consciousness, and you are able to detach I, the soul, in the mind, from the body. So you do everything in the mind, and in your mind space, if you keep detaching yourself in the body, then you come to a place where you know I am me, and this is just a body I'm using right now. And then it's going through some suffering. I told you I'm a caring soul, I will take care of it, but then it doesn't pull my intellect. So you should have that kind of detachment from the body, from everything else. Only those who make such effort to die alive are beggars. So when you die, what happens is all that you call mine ceases to be yours, right? That's all that happens. And then when you die alive, that's the state, and then you all consciousness of mind finishes, and then you're a complete beggar, free. Yes. Only they are in the stage of retirement, and the stage of retirement is called Vanprasth in Hindi, and Baba says Vanprasth means Vani se pare. Vani means, again, Baba says, this Vani means physical, okay? So anything away from the physical world. So Vani se pare Vanprasth means the soul world. So Baba says only they are in the stage of retirement, so they are ready to go to the soul world, because their intellects remember that they have to return home with the Father and then go to the land of happiness. And when you are in such a detached state from your body, everything, then there is constantly this awareness that now I have to go home with my Father and then come to the land of happiness. So are you in that state? So if you're in that state, then you are a beggar, and then you become a prince. And if you want to be a prince, you cultivate that state. Yes. And then, so you see that Baba today in the Murli says that whether you want to go or not want to go, I'm taking you. Okay. So, and Baba says, you called me for 2500 years and I have not come here for nothing. When I have come, I will take you. Then what is all this knowledge about? So we don't have a choice about whether we want to go. We have a choice about how we want to go. Okay, so, and when I was growing up, my mother used to tell me, रो के करो या हंस के करो, करना तो पड़ेगा. And we have this in Indian households, we tell children that you have a choice whether you want to do it crying or you want to do it smiling, but you have to do it. Okay, so it's the same thing. Baba says you have to go, but you have a choice about how you want to go. And that choice is not just an intention, it has to be complemented with action. So, I just want to go happily. No, you have to do the work to go happily. And Baba says you also have a choice about where you want to come back, because whenever people called me, they called me and said, I want peace. So I will take everybody to the world of peace, but if you want to go to the world of happiness, which you didn't know exists before Baba came. So it's interesting that before Baba comes, we don't know that a world of happiness exists. So nobody tells us about Satyug and that there is no trace of sorrow there. So we didn't have any idea about Satyug. But Baba says, now that I'm here and I have given you the knowledge about the existence of Satyug and also the qualifications you need for going to Satyug, you also have a choice about whether you want to come to Satyug and how you want to come to Satyug, like a prince or like a praja. So Baba says that option is also there. So this knowledge is not about whether you want to continue or you want to go back. So Baba says going back you will, but if you do as I say, then you will have accumulated enough income which will make you eligible for a position in Satyug. Yes, so are you wise enough to make that choice? So, that's a choice. And I tell you that, so I have seen that vision is a very important thing in the world. And you see all this. So I remember that when I was growing up, there were, you know, parents and parents' friends, and we heard them discussing, so they said, this land was being sold for pennies, and this land was so cheap at that time, and then we didn't know this will, transform into this beautiful area, and then we just left it, and now it costs 1 crore or something, and then I just repent making that decision at that time. So while growing up, I understood that vision is a very important thing. So being able to look into the future, and there are some people who are able to, according to the part in their drama, make an investment at a time in the present for which they reap benefit in the future. But that's drama. They do it not out of vision or wisdom, but because they are destined to make that decision. And nobody can really, make an effort to be a visionary in the world. So there are many people who, even with the share market thing, they want to become a visionary, they want to get it right, but that's not how it works. So either you have it in your drama or you don't have it in your drama. That's also there. Figuring out who you are is an effort, but you cannot cultivate that. But then in Gyan, we have the knowledge. We have knowledge. We know the past, present, and future. And if I work with that knowledge, and if I really pay attention to what Baba says about the future, then I can be a visionary and I can do actions in the present based on this knowledge and vision of the future that Baba gives. So here you have a choice whether you want to be a visionary. So whether you want to choose actions in the present so that you reap benefits in the future. And that choice is available to every child. And I think that the biggest thing in Sangam Yuga is choice. So choice because you have knowledge. And without knowledge, there is no choice. So Baba says that because you have knowledge that in the future, if you do this, and you have heard Murlis where Baba says, you want to be a king, you do this. You want to be a subject, you do this. You want to be you want to be a wealthy person in Satyug, you do this. So you know what done in the present will give you what result in the future. And that's why you have a choice. And Baba gives you a certain formula. So that formula is foolproof. So you do this, you get this. It is like this. And then you have a choice. And then it is amazing and interesting that children don't take that choice. Yes, so Baba says you must take that choice. And today Baba talks about many things. Baba talks about, first, if you want to be a prince in Satyug, then you withdraw your intellect from everything. B, Baba says, you live in the household like a lotus, pure. So you take care of every possible purity. So not only purity as in celibacy, that's the foundation. Yes, that's important. And then purity of food, purity of vision, purity of what you hear, purity of how you use your money, whether you use it in impure pursuits or you are giving it to somebody who is creating impure karma out of it. So everything, purity of every aspect you have to pay attention to. Because so the body belongs to you, and whatever the eyes see or the ears hear or you eat through the mouth or you do through the body has an impact on the soul. The money belongs to you, so whatever way the money is used has an impact on the soul. So that's how the law of karma works. And it's not like, uh, you know, uh, so I want to also talk about the Gita here. So there is a message in the Gita which is misleading. And in the Gita, it is said that because they are souls, so it is supposedly said that Shri Krishna says that because everybody is a soul, so if you kill the body, it doesn't matter. Sab mare pade hain, so you can kill them. But no, it's not like that. When you do something through the body, to a body, it creates a karma. You cannot say that somebody is a soul, so I kill the body through my body. So how does it matter? No. Everything you do through the body has an impact on the soul. So you cannot say, and I have seen people who use this knowledge of the soul wrongly, and they will say that my body did this and I am a soul, so it's okay. No. Understand this law that Baba says, and Baba says that whatever you do through your body has an impact on the soul. And if you eat wrong, if you see something which is impure, if you hear something, if you give and take something which is impure, or you engage in activity which is impure, you use your money for impure purposes, you give it to somebody who uses it for impure purposes, all that creates karma. Because it's your decision, you make that choice. And when you make a choice, you are accountable for it. You cannot say, I'm not accountable for it. So Baba says, pay attention to your purity. You cannot say that the circumstances dictated it, this happened, that happened. No. You are a soul, you are responsible for your actions. So pay attention to purity. Then there is another thing that Baba asks us to maintain consciousness about. Baba says, Maya quickly makes some of you like a touch-me-not plant. It is necessary for each one of you to ask yourself, How much do I stay in remembrance of the Father and remain cheerful? Because yesterday Baba said that being cheerful is the soul's strength, nourishment. And if somebody is physically weak, they will wilt. Similarly, if you're spiritually weak, you will wilt in the face of very small situations. So Baba says, don't be a touch-me-not plant, but for that you have to create a state of cheerfulness. And if you're not happy inside, if you're not cooking your own nourishment through Gyan and Yoga, then somebody puts less or more sugar in the tea and you get upset about it. So you're like a touch-me-not plant. And you know, people know where to press your buttons to make you. And they even, they will have a bet also outside the room that I'll go and tell this thing and they will jump up and down right now. So Baba says, don't be that touch-me-not plant. Because once you get upset, it takes a lot of time for the soul to come back to recovery. So fill yourself with nourishment. Don't let anything take away your happiness. And then Baba says, no matter what someone else is like, you children have to continue to do service. So my good karma is on me. Yes, you're not nice for anybody, you're nice for yourself. Not nice to yourself, you're nice to everybody, but that's for yourself. Never forget that. So in bhakti, you think that if you're nice to somebody, you're nice to them. If you're not nice to somebody, you're not nice to them. But Baba says, no, when you're not nice to somebody, you're not nice to yourself. So when you're nice to somebody, you're nice to yourself, not to anybody else. So never forget this rule, and however somebody else is, you continue to be yourself. These are very important points that Baba underlines today if we really want to be a prince. And then Baba today says, you don't have to do anything else, simply remember the Father and study. At school, children study and also remember their teacher. Your characters are also reformed. Now, Baba says, pay attention to Murli, because Baba says there is, in the earlier days, Baba says there was a song that the earlier sisters used to sing, and that song was, there is magic in the Murli. And what is the magic in the Murli? That it can turn you into a deity. Yes, and Baba says, never forget your study, never miss even a single Murli. And do you know that even in the world, if there is anybody who wants you to not have anything, what they do is they stop you from getting educated. That's the easiest way. So, all this extremist activity that takes place, what they do is they ensure there is no education in the place. And Maya also does that. So no education means no development. And Baba says here, Maya stops you from spiritual education. So the Murli. So never miss the Murli. This is another point. And then Baba today says, give the Father's introduction, because Baba says, until people receive the Father's introduction, they are in darkness. People of the whole world are orphans at this time. You have to enable the Father's message to reach them all. And you see that when a child is born, he recognizes himself through his father's introduction. Yes? No parent, you don't know who you are. And that's physical, that's a body conscious aspect. But then it's same for the soul. Without knowing the Father, the soul doesn't know who the soul is, because you don't know your qualities, you don't know your powers, you don't know anything about yourself. So only when we meet Baba, we come to figure out who we are. And Baba says it's a responsibility that every soul meets his parent. And every, these centers, they do that work. So, Baba has created this whole machinery. And then it's very important that whenever there is a program, there is a course, we send out the message. And we do our bit to support the activity of giving the Father's introduction in every which way. And you want to influence somebody to take the course, give them your experience, tell them how Baba has helped you in this journey, and then they will also be encouraged to take the course. So Baba says that giving of the Father's introduction is very, very important. Without the Father, you don't know who you are. And then Baba today says that you have multi-million in every step. In Hindi, it is called Kadam Me Padam. So you earn a lot whenever you take any step according to Srimad. So you wake up at Amrit Vela, you remember Baba, you choose pure food, you choose pure vision. Every choice you make according to Srimad is getting an income earned for you. So, and this income, when accumulated, will make you worthy of becoming a prince in Satyug. So don't forget to earn this income. So every step of action that you take on Srimad is accruing an income to you. Don't forget that. And Baba says, without effort, there is no reward. Yes, but the effort is very easy because the effort is so well defined. So make that effort and earn the reward. If I help someone to pay their tuition fees, will that be bad karma with money? I'm sure you don't do this only one thing with your money. So, so take care of the other stuff before you think about this. So, we always want to ask questions about difficult areas, but again, I don't know whether really that's an issue, because maybe you're paying 50 rupees or something, and that's not a big thing. Okay, but if that amount is substantial, and if that's the only way you're using your money, then maybe we can talk about it. So, that's, and, once I was talking to somebody and he said, I donate candles to an orphanage, and is that a bad karma? I said, how many candles did you donate? So in the last 10 years, he had donated 10 candles. And then there was a question about whether candle donation is good karma or bad karma. And I said, how much do you earn a month? And he said 5 lakhs a month. And he is concerned about those 10 candles which he donated in the last 10 years. So I said, you should be worried about the other stuff you're spending on. So that's how it goes. So let's not, let's not always deceive ourselves with these questions. So these are not the main issues. Look at where your money is being really spent. and you are very aware of all the vicious areas in which your money is being spent. Okay. Om Shanti.